Okay, so here is the key scene in the whole play, the pivot for the whole play, the Death of Mercutio. And here, Tybalt has maintained this grudge against Romeo, and he's coming looking for him. Now remember, the prince has given a death threat for anyone in the Montague or the Capulet house who gets in a fight, but that's not going to stop him. Mercutio, also like Tybalt, is not going to stop. He's not going to accept that if he feels attacked or disrespected or dishonored, he's going to fight. And what's confusing here is, to Mercutio certainly, is, okay, Romeo's not a fighter, but why is he being so, he's just taking it from Tybalt? And part of that is because he is married to Juliet. And so they're cousins now, whether they admit it or not. And he's caught in a problem, and the problem being the fight between these two families. So Tybalt starts up, "Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you. I just want to speak," it seems, because he hasn't seen the one he hates. "You just want one word? Look, do me a favor, couple it with something. A word and a blow." He says, "Okay, let's speak plus fight. Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be a better thing to do?" Tybalt continues, "You consort, you hang out, you know, he's your friend. He's someone you ally yourself with. Whoa, 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 what do you think we are, musicians? Minstrels? And now make minstrels of us? Look, to hear nothing but discords. If you want to make us musicians, you're just going to hear horrible sounds from me. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that'll make you dance. Here's my musical instrument. Zounds, consort, God's wounds. Zounds is God's wounds." He's really insulted. But, you know, I think this joking is a little bit lost on me. The modern version, I think, is really funny, and I even though I think it's a little bit against the grain, you know, he does show him his instrument, his fiddlestick, which is, here, it's his instrument that will make him dance. But I think also there's the potential of a kind of phallic joke of using his fiddlestick, his sword also as a phallus, in a threatening way, in a way that's challenging him. And notice again the wordplay and how it's echoed in the fight that will emerge. Benvolio being so sweet and nice, and he says, "Look, we're in public. We either have to withdraw and do this privately," and he says, "and great," he goes, "let's just reason calmly, coldly, or else just get out of here, because people look. Okay, we need to chill out." And he says, Mercutio's not going to have it. Sorry, I'm just going to correct. Mercutio's not going to have it. Men were made to look. Let them look. I don't care. I'm not going to budge for anyone. Won't back down. And he doesn't care who's looking, who looks. So he's not afraid of the law. He's not going to move. Okay? Well, he doesn't really care, Tybalt, because his quarrel's not with Mercutio, it's with Romeo. "Here comes my man." And he starts up. "The hate I bear thee can afford no better than this. Thou art a villain." This is an insult. His reputation is besmirched. He has to respond in this culture. And maybe, well, let's see. "Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee, so I actually love you. It's going to excuse your rage at me. I am not a villain. You don't know me." What? These guys are going to say, what is all this? Is he taking the piss? Is he taking the mick? Is he mocking him? it doesn't really make sense. And he's trying to walk away from a fight. Tybalt further demeans him. This is not enough. This isn't going to excuse the injuries. You destroyed my rep by breaking into my party. Fight. And he comes back and said, look, I'm protesting. I've never done anything. But the truth is, I love you better than you can even think of. And when you know the reason, until you know the reason. So goodbye, Capulet. Capulet, I like your name as my own. So maybe people hear him as sarcastic, which I think it could be, but he is being genuine, actually. But it is perplexing. Okay, he's not a fighter, but this is just strange. He's talking this way. And Mercutio can't handle it. He thinks of it as a vile submission. It's a disgusting climb down. Can't accept it. So Tybalt, Prince King of Cats, I think is what it is. Rat catcher, will you walk? You ready? That's a great image to fight. Do you want to walk? Do you want to walk over here? Do you want to do this thing? Let's go. Yeah, I do. I'm for you. Let's go. So Romeo tries to bake them up. Now he knows he doesn't want his best friend to die. He doesn't want his wife's cousin to die. And he begs Benvolio, come on, beat down their weapons. Make them stop, because that's what he's known for. He can do that. Make them stop. It's shame. Remember, like a little kid, remember the prince said we're not supposed to do this. Please, hold, just stop. Good Mercutio, quit it. And under Romeo's arm, it stabs Mercutio. Horrible. And here comes Mercutio in prose, giving out a tirade of anger. I'm hurt. He's looking down at his wound, and he gives us a plague on both your houses, a disease on both Montagues and Capulets. Now that he's dying, he rejects all this that he's fought for. Oh, is he gone and hath nothing? Did Tybalt get nothing? That means, usually in a fight you might, if you got hit, you give the other guy something. No. So he feels doubly defeated, doesn't he? Now he makes jokes. Oh, it's a scratch. Don't worry. He said go fetch a surgeon. Maybe he has some chance of survival. He checks out his wound. He says it's not as deep as a well or as wide as a door, church door as a matter of fact, but it's enough. It'll serve. And then he makes a horrible pun. If you ask for me tomorrow, you shall find me a grave equals serious, and also the place for the dead. So I'm going to be a serious person tomorrow. I'm peppered, that image of being sprinkled with little dots peppered. And he screams again, and I think it's very haunting when a plague on both your houses. God's wounds. A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. He's complaining that Tybalt's not really a man to lose to. He's not really a fighter. He's more of a tactician. To lose to Tybalt. A shame. But then he gets to it, what really bothers him. He makes eye contact with Romeo. Why the devil? I was hurt under your arm. Guilt. Confusion. Betrayal. For this world, what Romeo has done is horrific. And Romeo speaks, a little while later, he says, this gentleman, my best friend, my very friend, one of my best friends, has gotten harmed because of me. And my reputation is stained, ruined by villain, calling me villain, killed my friend, killed my very friend. He's raged. He's just been my cousin for an hour. He's exaggerating. He's worried that Juliet's beauty has made him soft, like a girl, like a woman, and my temper softened with that. And in my temper softened, Valens weak. He doesn't have a sense of valor or honor anymore. And so he has to avenge his friend. Take the villain back. Take this name. You want to call me villain? Take it back. Mercutio's soul is a bit... So later someone comes back on stage to tell him Mercutio's dead. Mercutio's soul's just a little above us, keeping us company. You, me, or both are going with him. And this is ironic, again, because that is, is it ironic? No, it foreshadows, I guess. It foreshadows what is going to happen, which is, yes, in fact, all of them are going to die. Tybalt won't have it. You're just a kid. You come here, get out of here. This shall determine that. And it kills him. He's Fortune's fool. Now he knows this killing has sealed his fate. So, in this scene, violence leads to death, violence leads to betrayal, violence shows us it can change someone. Men feel like violence is an expression of who they are. It's a way of maintaining your honor, your sense of yourself. Being in love softens your ability to be violent, and then thus makes you effeminate and less of a man. We see the effects of violence and the death it brings to Mercutio and to Tybalt. And, of course, this idea of Fortune's fool. So, really, the consequences of violence are explored in this scene above all. What started out as a game, we really see the consequences of it here.